Me. In today's program, we continue from where we stopped in our theory of what? Demand. Okay, today we are going to look on changes in quantity demanded versus changes in demand. All right. After that, the development of the concepts of changes in demand or change in demand and change in quantity demanded is to be able to differentiate the effects of price and the effects of other factors that affect demand or other determinants of what? Demand. Effects of price and the effects of other determinants on how much of a good is demanded. Full stop. So the effects of price and the effects of the other factors are explained in details below. So now we are going to look into change in quantity demanded. Like you've said, that economists actually, in order to explain the effects, of price and that of other factors or the effects of other factors that affect demand, they distinguish or they separated the effects of price and the other determinants of demand into two, which they call change in demand and change in quantity demanded. To them, that change in demand is caused by other factors that affect demand, while change in quantity demanded is caused by price of the commodity in question. All right, so we talk on change in quantity demanded. Change in quantity demanded. All right. Let's shift this to the middle to make sense. Okay. So we start. A change in quantity demanded of a particular good, means a change means a change in the quantity means a change in the quantity demanded resulting from a change in the price of the good in question, holding other determinants constant. Holding other determinants constant. Full stop. So what I'm trying to say is that a change in quantity demanded of a good means a change in the quantity demanded resulting from a change in the price of the good in question, holding other determinants constant, meaning that other factors that affect demand are being held fixed. They are not allowed to change. It's only the price of the good in question changes. All right. A change in quantity demanded is also called a movement along a demand curve. A movement along a demand curve or the same demand curve. Full stop. A downward shift a downward movement along the same demand curve indicates a rise in quantity demanded, while an upward movement along a demand curve or the same demand curve along the same demand curve means or indicates a fall in quantity demanded. Full stop. Figure A below shows the geometrical presentation or interpretation of a change in quantity demanded. So now that the graph of change in quantity demanded has been established, okay, we can see a right angle triangle in mathematics, okay, which is half of a quadrant. All right. Now the vertical axis here, normally, which is the y-axis, is now our P or price axis. While the horizontal axis, which is normally our x-axis, is now what our Q or quantity axis. Now we established this, okay, downward sloping demand curve. Mind you, this is a linear demand curve, this straight line that is inversely sloped. So normally the original price is P sub 0 or PO, okay, which corresponds to what? Point B. Okay, now suppose the price rose from PO to P1 as indicated by the upward sloping arrow or upward pointing arrow. Then this will cause a movement, okay, along the same demand curve from point B to that of what? Point A. And the effects of this, or the result of this movement, okay, well, the result of this upward movement, okay, is a fall in quantity demanded from what? QO to what? Q1. This fall in quantity demanded, okay, of a good is as a result of what? A rise or a hike in the price from PO to what? P1. Conversely, suppose the price fell from PO or P sub 0 to P sub 2, which caused a downward movement along the same demand curve from point B to what? Point D. Then the result is that the quantity demanded will rise from QO towards Q2 as indicated by the arrow pointing right way. So actually this works on the condition that other factors that affect demand are held constant. It is only the price of the good in question that what? Changes. So now we go into that of change in demand. Okay. A change in demand or a shift, a change in demand or a change or shift in demand exists because other factors affecting demand are allowed to change except the commodity's own price. Full stop. The effects of these factors lead to a shift. The effects of these factors lead to a shift in the entire demand curve. Full stop. Leads to a shift in the entire demand curve. Full stop. It is this shift in the entire demand curve. It is this shift in the entire demand curve that we call a change, in demand. Full stop. This shift could be outward. This shift could be outward or inward. Full stop. What I'm trying to say is that the outward shift actually implies increase or a rise, okay, or a rightward shift. All right, while the inward shift could be the decrease or a leftward shift. Okay, so the direction of the shift hinges immensely upon the correlation or relationship between demand and the variable that brought about the change. Full stop. Among these factors, or among these determinants of demand are, price of substitutes or related goods, comma, consumer's income level, comma, consumer's population, etc., etc. Full stop. When one of these determinants or factors changes, demand curve will either shift upward or outward or downward. Or inward. Full stop. An upward or outward shift, okay, an upward or outward shift of the entire demand curve means a rise in demand, while an inward or downward shift of the so-called entire demand curve implies a decrease in price, a decrease or a fall in demand. See the graphical illustration of this change or shifting of this change or shift in demand in the figure B below. Now, the graph of a shift in demand is already established. We have a right angle triangle as before, the p-axis and the x-axis as well, the p-axis and what? q-axis, okay? We have the origin here. We have a fixed price as indicated by the horizontal straight line. That is this line that corresponds to what? P bar. It shows that our price is constant. Now we have linear demand curves. That is downward sloping linear demand curves, which shows that we have 3 points, point D2, point DO, and point D1. Now, there was shifts, downward shifts and what? Upward shift of each of these what? Linear demand curves. This is the original linear demand curve, DO, which shifted inward as indicated by the downward pointing arrows. Also, this is also a shift, an upward or outward shift of the demand curve from DO to D1 as indicated by the upward pointing what? Arrows. These shifts actually are caused by other factors that affect demand except the price of the commodity in question, meaning that the price is fixed. So, suppose there are changes in the price of substitute goods, okay, that may cause the downward sloping linear demand curve to shift inward, either inward from DO towards D2, which shows a fall in demand from QO towards Q2. Also, it could be an outward shift from DO towards the new linear demand curve, which is what? D1. This corresponds or shows that we have an increase in demand from QO towards Q1. In a nutshell, I'm trying to say that the cause of these shifts, okay, of the linear demand curve, whether inward or outward, is because of the fact that other factors that affect demand has changed, except the price of the commodity in question. At this juncture, the P is bar. That is, the P is raised to power a bar, meaning that P is fixed. We could use P sub 0 to represent a fixed price, or P star to represent a what? A fixed price. Hope this helps. This tutorial is made by Makasi Chinedu. Please subscribe to my channel, which is Makasi's Academy. I am responsible for any typographical error found in this video. Please do join me in my next video where I'll be teaching other subtopics in demand. Thank you. Thank you for watching.